Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if this is your first visit. I hope you enjoy this week's video. This week we are doing a crystal card and an oracle card pick-a-card reading for the week of July 26th through August 1st, which is just unbelievable to me. I think I have lost all track of time, as many people have during this pandemic. People just are not working their normal schedules and it's really hard to keep track of. So when I looked at this week's dates and I realized that it encompasses August 1st, I was kind of blown away, but it does. So here we are. This week we will be doing a pick a card that is sphere based. Our three objects this week are going to be crystal spheres. So we will call this one group 1, and I will try to put timestamps down below. Though I also would like to mention that I feel like this channel started out just doing a general energy forecast for the week. So if you don't resonate with one of them or you want to listen to all three, I feel like that's perfect if that's what you're called to do, because until just a couple months ago, I did always just do the general energy forecast for the week. So I feel like there are bits of each one of these that will be for everyone. But if you are called to one of these objects, certainly do click on the timestamp below for the one that resonates most strongly with you. This one is a moss agate sphere. So we're going to call that group 1. Group 2 will be this red jasper sphere. And group 3 will be this lovely green fluorite sphere. So just take a second if you need to, pause the video if you really want to kind of get into a meditative state, tune into which one. It's always good to look at which crystal or object you're called to, but also use your intuition. You may be called to one of the numbers on the timestamps down below. That may be how your intuition guides you as to which group you should go with this week. So don't just choose a shiny object, but do use your intuition to tune into which one you feel is calling to you most this week. So let's get started. Group 1, wait, not quite yet. I want to explain what we're doing this week. I almost forgot. So this week I'm going to use the Healing Crystals, crystal deck number 5. And last week somebody, I think, commented on this and said they weren't sure what deck this was, I think was the question. It's the Healing Crystals Information Cards and Oracle deck. These are available at healingcrystals.com. So I worked with them for almost 10 years and helped create these decks. I did a lot of the affirmations and the keywords and the scientific information that you'll find on each of these. So that's why I love them, because I helped create them. So I do use them a lot in our weekly readings for the crystal energies. But those are available at healingcrystals.com. There's a whole section of oracle cards. We did 6 decks total, and then there's some astrology decks too. So that's the crystal deck, will be number 5 this week. Then I'm going to use 3 different decks that were created by Denise Lynn. So the first one I'm going to use is the Gateway Oracle Cards deck. This will be kind of our opening energy for each group this week. Just a general energy of where we're at, what's our gateway, where are we headed. The second one for each group will be from her Sacred Traveler Oracle decks. Where are we on our path? What's our next best action, maybe, is what it'll give us. What should we be working on? What's our focus? And then the third one is our Sacred Destiny. Where are we ending up, or where is this leading us? So that's how this week's reading is going to progress for all 3 groups. Now, I'll get started with group 1. So again, group 1, if you chose the moss agate, these are your cards for the week. So we will start with the crystal energy, and it's going to be Covalite. Covalite works really strongly and directly with your third eye chakra, so bringing in that intuitive energy this week for group 1. Its 3 keywords are detoxification, dream recall, and intuition. And I'm getting a message to pass along that detoxification in the form of what you're consuming is really important for many of us who are energetically sensitive. Many of us who are energetically sensitive also happen to be sensitive to foods, sensitive to our environments, sensitive to things like cleaning supplies. So detoxification has become a really kind of trendy topic in the past few years, and it usually has to do with drinking, some sort of tea that you find on Instagram. But that's not necessarily what this means. This is more of an energetic detoxification. So it is about diet. It is about getting plenty of clean, clear water. But it is also about detoxifying from things like social media, from being on the computer that much, maybe giving yourself a cutoff time or limiting a number of hours, because a lot of us are home more now during restricted times and during this pandemic. Our schedules may have changed. We may have gotten into different habits than we were in before. So detoxification really meaning watch what you are consuming, but also, what you're cleaning your home with, what is in your space in general, energetically, and as far as chemicals, substances, that sort of thing. Make sure everything's as clean as possible. Don't go overboard with it. If you're comfortable with it, it's fine, but really kind of check in with yourself intuitively to say, oh, is this making me feel good, or should I switch to something else next time I go to the store? That's what it's calling you to do. So, and the message I'm getting, why all of that came out, is detoxification is going to connect you more strongly with your third eye chakra and with your intuition. When your body is, vibrating high and clean and light and clear, you connect very easily with your own intuition. The mantra or affirmation you can use this week, group 1, is my dreams assist me in my spiritual growth. So kind of a message there to pay attention to your dreams. Maybe keep your phone, like a notes app, or a voice app is great. Just even to leave yourself a text. I do that sometimes when I wake up from a dream. I have a contact called me that I can send myself texts to. Leave yourself a voice text. Use your voice recorder app, anything like that, or a notes app, or just keep a pen and paper by your bed, because we always think we're going to remember our dreams, and they fade so quickly once we leave that dream state. So this kind of a message that you're being called to maybe receive messages in your dreams this week, and to make sure that you have something nearby to be able to keep track of that. I am also being told that ask for guidance. I mention it a lot in videos, but angels, guides, ascended masters, higher beings cannot intrude on our free will. So if you're looking for guidance, ask for it. Say, I would really like guidance to come to me in a dream. I'm working on this specific project, and I need some guidance as to what to do at this point. What's my next action step? Or, if you don't have a project at all, give me a burst of creativity. What can I focus on? Give me something to focus on. Ask for it specifically, repeatedly, clearly, and you will get signs, symbols, and synchronicities, but just be aware of those, that your intuition is going to be really heightened this week. So that is your crystal energy for this week, group 1. And then your gateway card, the kind of energy we want to be connected to, what's going to lead us forward this week, is the Expecting Miracles card. Miracles are blossoming in my life. So again, just kind of a reminder to be open, to be connected, to use that third eye center. It might be a good idea to do some third eye meditations. There are some specific music frequencies that you can work with. There's a lot of great YouTube videos for either the meditations or the music that you can listen to. And just know that you're going to be receiving this intuitive information. And you see how the hands are open in this graphic here on the card. Be open to receiving information. Maybe not in the way you think you're going to receive it, but the message is be open. Be open to, that's how miracles occur, is when we are open to receiving information in all forms. And then your sort of next best step. What do you move on from expecting miracles? And this is hilarious. So expecting miracles, that's the energy we're in. Then what do you get if you follow that guidance? You get miracles, which is too funny. Expect the wondrous to emerge. So a little stronger energy with expect. You've put your intentions out, you've gotten clear on the assistance you want, you've asked for help from higher beings, Your higher self is also a good one to ask for messages from. Then what do? You really get into the energy of expectation this week, of knowing that if you put it out there, it will be fulfilled in divine timing. And if it's not fulfilled, it's not the right time. And again, I think I mentioned this last week, but being connected to that energy of what is mine will not go past me. What is mine will come to me with ease. And knowing that if it hasn't come to you, you're not doing anything wrong at all. You're doing perfectly fine. It's just from up above, the universe can see paths that maybe are more aligned with our highest good. So they're not going to show you down this path that you think is in your highest good if they know a year from now something else will open up that is really aligned with your soul's purpose. So be open, know that everything is coming to you in divine timing, and just keep focusing on what it is you want to create, what you want more of in your life. It will come to you in divine timing. So expecting miracles, and then what unfolds from that, miracles. And then the Sacred Destiny card, the kind of outcome card, is the Diligence card. And this is just saying keep your thoughts focused. Keep strong and keep connected to your intuition. Don't doubt yourself. And that was the message I was getting really strongly, is if it doesn't come to you right away, it's just because the timing's not right. You're not doing anything incorrectly. You can't. As long as you're moving forward and you're still working on creating, and you're still working on manifesting, and you're still working on, what your next unfolding process is, you can't do anything wrong. Everything you're doing is perfect. And this is the exact message that I just got about the universe kind of sees things from a higher perspective, and to be open, if things aren't occurring as we want in our human mind, be open that there might be something better coming. And that's a good thing to remember too when working with affirmations and when working with manifestation work, is to end it with that or something better. Don't box yourself in. We talked about that a little bit last week in one of the groups. Don't get too specific with your affirmations. What is it generally you want? And then let it unfold. Go with the flow. Because there could be pathways out there that you don't know about. Our human minds have finite realms of information that we can kind of connect with. The universe is infinite. So it has pathways that are available to us that might be in our highest good, that it can allow to unfold in divine timing that we don't know anything about. So the Diligence card is saying, stay diligent in your thoughts. Stay diligent in what it is that you want to create. Stay diligent in speaking your truth, being connected to your truth. But also remain open to that things may not unfold the way you have that picture in your mind. Be open. And what's funny about this card specifically is I just mentioned the universe can kind of see things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. If you see this, it's saying, look at these fertile fields down below. There's a time for planting, which is the time you're in now. You're in a time of expectation, a time of planting your seeds for these miracles to unfold. But you can see that there's different crops planted in different areas, and there is a time for planting, and then there's a time for harvesting. And some of these plots may get harvested at different times. You may go through different phases in your life, and that's fine. But from up above, just like this bird, the universe can see that things unfold in their own time. This field may come to fruition long before this one does. And you may have your sights set on this one, and this may be your focus. This may be what brings you joy, and this is your connection. But you may have to kind of harvest this one first. So just knowing that from above, everything unfolds in divine time, and the universe can see the entire plan for us. So that is your energy for this week, group 1. I hope you enjoyed it. And let's move on to group 2. So group 2 was the red Jasper sphere. So let's see what your crystal energy is this week. Ooh, Wolfenite. Oh, and it matches your red Jasper very nicely. I love it when that happens. So Wolfenite connects your root and sacral chakras, so those lower chakras, your root being your center of stability, your sacral being sort of sexual energy, creative energy, that energy of fire, of creation. The three keywords for this one are rejuvenation, journeying, and creativity. And I like that journeying. I feel like that's going to be important this week as a connection to creativity. Let me just show you that wolfenite. The affirmation or mantra you can use this week, group 2, is I access spiritual knowledge from the past, present, and future. So I really did get a connection when I read Journeying. It'll be interesting to see what other cards come up for you this week. I access spiritual knowledge from the past, present, and future. And I'm really getting kind of a shamanic vibe. If any of you in group 2 have been either considering working with a shaman or studying shamanism, I'm getting a really strong, that kind of journeying shamanic vibe this week. So group 2, your gateway card, your opener card, is going to be healing the past, which is all about journeying. And what was this? I access spiritual knowledge from the past, present, and future. And then we move on to what is your opening message? What should you be working on? Healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. And how do you step into your future with strength and clarity? You do that by healing the past. This is pretty specific guidance for those of you who chose the red jasper. And I do love that it is the red jasper that I was guided to use for group 2 this week, because red jasper is connected to our root chakra, which the wolfenite also is. Red jasper, very grounding, very earth-centered energy. Very good for working with healing the past. And bringing us stability and really centering that root chakra. So this is very cohesive already. Healing the past, and you can see kind of the roots that this little tree there is setting down into the earth, and it's growing because it is healing the past. It is reaching down into that earth to heal anything that is holding it back from stepping into the light, into that future that is at the end of the tunnel. And that is what we're seeing here, is a light at the end of the tunnel that is reached, and we are able to step healthily into the future by healing the past. So that's your opening energy, group 2. And then from our Sacred Traveler deck, your energy for this week is finding sanctuary, which I think is perfect. It says opening to your spiritual source. So what do we need to do after we really delve into that healing the past energy, and we know there's something we need to bring up, to release, to move into our future in the healthiest possible way? We find sanctuary. We spend some time in meditation. We maybe seek out a healer to work with, or we can do it ourselves if we're comfortable doing that, just through meditation and through, maybe some guided healing work. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, seek out a healer that you can work with, that can kind of delve into where these blocks are. That's one of the great things about the Akashic Records and the readings that I do. I work with the records a lot in my readings. It's great for kind of peeling back those layers and getting to the root cause of things that we can't, even if you have tried everything, it's like, oh, I've tried going to traditional doctors, I've tried going to counseling, therapy, I just can't seem to get to the root cause of this. And there is a place for that. We should never use sort of alternative therapies in place of medical care, but they are a wonderful complement to each other. And sometimes when you get to the end of that road where you've exhausted everything you can think of, something like seeing a healer or having a reading can be extremely helpful in getting to that root cause, because it might not be in this lifetime. It could be in a previous lifetime. And again, that kind of shamanic energy of shamans do a lot, and I don't do any shamanic work, but from the experiences I've had, shamans deal a lot with, soul fragmentation and bringing things back in so that we can be a whole being again and move forward in our lives. And that's kind of like the energy of the Akashic Records, like uncovering what it is at the root cause so that you can heal that on an energetic level and move forward in the physical realm. So that's the energy I'm getting, is that very kind of retrieval energy, bringing things back into a whole, healing the past on all levels, whether it's childhood or whether it is past lives, but healing that, bringing yourself back into cohesion, back into a whole so that you can move forward into a healthier future. And opening up to your spiritual source and asking for guidance from higher beings is a way to do that. So then group 2, your Sacred Destiny card. What happens if we go through these steps? What happens if we take care of this healing from the past? What does that get us? What are we preparing for? And it's the Voyage card. And this, I love this card. Love it. So the voyage, it's about going on a voyage. It's like this can be metaphysical, it could be actual travel. But the feeling I'm getting it is that it is much more etheric, energetic, a voyage. It's a voyage of the soul. It's what are you getting ready for? You are healing this and you are finding sanctuary and spending time in solitude or connecting with people who can assist you on this journey, to be prepared for your own voyage, your own soul's growth, your own leap forward, in your sort of spiritual evolution. So there is your voyage card. It is absolutely gorgeous. And the message I get from this for spirit is the full moon is an important symbol. That is when we do a lot of release work. So look for this next full moon in August, and I don't have the date of that handy. But look for working with a lot of release work, or maybe having a healing done around the time of the full moon, or delving into your Akashic records or something of that nature around the full moon to see what needs to be released, so that you're ready to go on this voyage. We have a lot of water energy, which is emotional energy. So something may, there may be an emotion that you can't pinpoint in this life. You may have something like anxiety or depression that you have never been able to figure out through traditional means. Maybe something to do with a past life, maybe something that you need to go on a voyage to figure out. But the stronger message I'm getting is that when you make it through that, you'll be ready to further your soul's growth, to go on a voyage. So the full moon symbolism, very important. But the message I'm getting here also is, the sort of mother whale and child whale. So it could be inner child work that needs to be done if you choose group 3, sorry. I have a loud cat here. It could be inner child work, is what needs to be uncovered. And that's coming up a lot for people, I think, just because of the shifting energies in general right now. Things that are blocking us can be, that we need to reconnect and support our inner child. It could also be, the other message I'm getting is this is your higher self assisting your third dimensional self, your human self, in sort of your spiritual evolution. So know that your higher self is always there, ropes attached, ready to assist you when you call. And our higher selves, the message I get is it is a higher spiritual being. It is our connection. So we do have to ask with that one too. Our higher self is not going to interfere in our free will, just like angels and ascended masters will not interfere in our free will. Neither will our higher self. So if you are seeking assistance or guidance from your higher self, be sure to ask clearly and give permission for that sort of guidance to come in. So beautiful voyage card, getting ready for a voyage. And I feel like this is your voyage is a spiritual evolution of sorts. So that is your reading for this week, group 3. I hope you enjoyed it. Group 2. Let's move on to group 3. So group 3, if you resonated most strongly with this green fluorite, this is your section of the reading. Your crystal energy for this week, group 3, is going to be magnesite. Magnesite, very soothing, very supportive. If you've ever worked with howlite or any other white crystals, kind of that same almost angelic, warm and fuzzy kind of energy. It connects the crown, third eye, and heart chakras. So the intuitive, spiritual chakras with our heart center. Its 3 keywords are unconditional love, visualization, and meditation. And its mantra or affirmation that you can use this week is, I love myself and others unconditionally and without judgment. And I want to be sure that you heard me correctly there, group 3. I love myself and others unconditionally and without judgment, because I feel like a few of you might need that message, that this does extend to you. Extend yourself the same courtesies and love that you would extend to others, and compassion. Courtesy, compassion, and love that you would extend to others, extend that to yourself. I love myself and others unconditionally and without judgment. So that's your crystal energy this week for those of you who chose group 3. And then your gateway card, how to kind of open this week, what energy to move into. And you got the In the Flow card. Everything is smooth sailing. which is kind of the magnesite energy. It is, like I said, very warm and fuzzy, very supportive. So if you are called to work with angels, I mentioned this in groups 1 and 2, I think, but if you are only listening to group 3, be sure that you remember that angels, ascended masters, and our higher selves can only come in and help us if we give permission for that. They will not interfere in our free will. So if you are looking for higher guidance, be sure to ask clearly for it. The In the Flow card says everything is smooth sailing. So really connecting with that energy of unconditional love and feeling like you are just kind of surrounded by this glow. I get a very kind of white light energy from that magnesite and from this card. It's almost like everything's taken care of. I'm just going to sit back in the seat and relax. There is also a lot of Christmas energy. I know a few of you connect with that. It's almost like gingerbread houses and, just kind of a well taken care of. I know everything is fine. I am in the flow. I know everything unfolds in divine timing. I am just going to sit here and be toted around, possibly by reindeer, maybe by angelic reindeer, and let the universe take care of me for a while. I am in the flow, and I know that I have put my intentions out there. They are coming to fruition when the universe deems it is right. From this higher perspective up here, I can see that everything's unfolding correctly, so I'm just going to relax under my warm blanket. That's the energy that you are opening with or moving toward this week, group 3. And then what happens if we go with the flow? If we really connect with this energy and go with the flow, what does it get us? This is too funny. This also happened in group 1. So this is why I kind of feel like the whole reading is always worth listening to, just because it's some of the things that come out are funny, even if we don't personally connect with the energetic messages. This also happened in group 1 with different cards. So in the flow, that's the energy you're moving into. That's the energy the universe wants you to connect with. That's your message. Be in the flow. What does that get you? That gets you being in the flow. So as you can see, it says, I am in the flow of the universe. And this one has a much more kind of celestial energy, but it is also, which indicates being connected to higher guidance in the universe. But still you can see very protected, kind of in the energy of this ship. All is safe, all is well, as long as I am in the flow. I know that the universe is taking care of me. There is so much out here in the cosmos and in the universe, things I don't know about in my human mind, that I can just relax in this boat and I can, go down this celestial river and let the energy take me where it will, because I know that when it stops, it's going to put me in the perfect place at the perfect time with the perfect people and the perfect resources, because I've asked for that to happen. So that's your energy this week, group through in the flow. What does that get you? It gets you being in the flow. Flow, very important for you folks. And then I apologize for my giant cat here. He's being very noisy, but he wants to go outside, but it's too hot. All right now. So group 3, then if you really heed these messages, you really make an effort to get in the flow and stay in the flow, knowing that you're being taken care of. What does that get you? And that gets you wisdom. And that is the energy that the message I was getting for the previous cards is, it's just about knowing and then putting it into practice. We can, logically know and tell ourselves, I know about divine timing. I know everything will happen when it's supposed to, but it can be frustrating in human time. And you have to remember that, as far as our higher selves go, and angels, guides, gods, goddesses, ascended masters, any of these beings that we're asking for assistance from, there's no time. There's no time in spirit. So, for us to want to rush things maybe before our soul has unfolded enough to handle what they want to give us would be unwise. So this is really about connecting with the wisdom that being in flow grants us, and the patience that being in flow grants us. And it is about knowing that when we are connected to the flow, and we are floating downstream rather than that energy of swimming upstream, which is funny because I just noticed this outline here, this mermaid energy. She's obviously sort of using the water to get to where she wants to go rather than fighting against it. So using that energy, connecting with flow, allows us to reach a level of wisdom that we wouldn't reach on our own. We only reach this when we are connected to the energetic flow of the universe. So that is your message for this week, group 3, is really getting into the flow and understanding the level of wisdom that is coming to you. So those are our messages for this week for groups 1, 2, and 3. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave me a comment below. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell button so you'll get notifications. I will try to do an August reading for the general overarching energy of this month within the first week of the month, so look for that. I am also going to do another contest, I think when I hit 300 subscribers here on YouTube. I know this is a small channel, but I like that I know most of you and connect personally with most of you, and it brings me great joy to do these videos, so I hope you enjoy them. If you want to see the channel grow and reach 300, so I do another contest, make sure you share this channel on your social media or with somebody you think would enjoy the content. I always appreciate that. But do leave me comments below and let me know what you're working on manifesting or how you're doing with staying in the flow. And I will talk